The Sand Poet. The umbrella man had slipped up the stairs to the veranda, silently opened the screen door, and entered the Lightstone's living room. Sensing an arrival, Ambra looked up from her university documents expecting to see Jevon. Instead, the pale-skinned stranger from the beach was staring back at her, his umbrella tucked under his arm. Ambra jumped out of her chair. "Who the hell are you and what are you doing in my house?" she barked, her eyes darting around the room in a frenetic search for the nearest object she could use as a weapon. The pale one calmly held up his hands, palms facing her, in a conciliatory gesture. "I, Sand Poet. No afraid." Ambra's tense muscles softened slightly. At that moment she heard the rapid breathing of Jevon returning from his run. Footsteps up the veranda stairs, the bang of a door. Jevon arrived and stopped short as he discovered an odd-looking stranger in an uneasy situation with his sister. "What's going on? Who are you?" The peculiar man began to speak in a soft, sing-song voice. He put his hand on his heart. "I, Sand Poet. No afraid. Deliver message for you." Jevon looked to Ambra. She shrugged. "I don't know who he is, but I thought he was following me on the beach today." "You didn't tell me." "I wasn't sure if he was or not. Didn't think it was any big deal." The Sand Poet opened his umbrella, which was swirling with different colours, now ice blue, now soft pink, now pale green, now silver. As Ambra and Jevon watched, mesmerised, the patterns on the umbrella seemed to coalesce and take form. The colours deepened and diversified. Shapes appeared. The picture began to materialise, a silhouette of a person. The image continued to fill with detail like a file downloading, its resolution sharpening. Finally, they could make out a familiar face. Their mother, Lillian Lightstone. The image spoke. "Jevon, Ambra, please listen carefully and do as I say. The authorities here in Venice have made us aware of a threat to our team from certain interests who don't want our technology made available. We are extremely worried that our loved ones may be targeted to coerce us into preventing its release. I am trying to contact your father because I will be unable to use any electronic communication shortly, as I cannot risk our exact location being revealed. If you had not heard from Dad by the time you receive this, then you must go with the bearer of this message for your own safety, as we are no longer sure whom we can trust in our world. I know this must seem strange to you, but please don't worry. This man and his people can be trusted. I'll see you soon. Love you." The image blew a kiss and then dissolved. Ambra's eyes filled with tears. "How do we know she wasn't made to say this? That you don't work for whoever it is she is warning us about," said Jevon, eyeing the Sand Poet suspiciously. "Is truth," said the Sand Poet, his face serene. "And what did Mum mean by, 'We're not sure whom we can trust in our world'?" cried Ambra. The Sand Poet glided towards the Lightstone's glass-topped coffee table in the living room. He moved a book and a vase, carefully setting them aside. Then he reached into a bag he had concealed within his robes and scattered several handfuls of fine white sand onto the tabletop. Murmuring softly as he worked, he began to craft a picture from the grains of sand on the living room table. His hands shaped what appeared to be a city, a magnificent structure built within a giant sphere that appeared to be floating in, and partly under, the ocean. "Atlantum," said the Sand Poet, as he put the finishing touches to the image his hands had crafted. "This is where you're from?" asked Jevon. "I, Sand Poet, must bring you to Atlantum, home to Ondens." Ambra's face contorted with horror. "What? You mean under the ocean?" "No fear. 'Twill be all right," murmured the Sand Poet. Ambra had gone as pale as the sand poet's umbrella. "Who on earth are the Ondens?" Jevon demanded. The sand poet chuckled at this, as if it was a clever joke. He removed a glass vial from within his white tunic, loosened the stopper, and sprinkled a small amount of a powdery substance into his hand. Like his umbrella, the dust shimmered pink, green, blue, and silver. "Mother of pearl dust," explained the sand poet as the siblings peered at the small pile of fine powder in his pale, smooth hand. Without another word, without any warning, the sand poet swung his arm across his body in a wide arc, casting the dust into Ambra and Jevon's eyes. A blue-green veil clouded Ambra's vision. Her ears filled with the sound of the roaring ocean, the taste of salt water on her tongue. She became irresistibly drowsy. She could not fight it.